Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Let me start by sharing my screen. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the topic of my talk today. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to present my work. So the talk is divided in three sections. First, I will talk about the tension between T2K and NOVA data. Then I will talk about the non-unitary mixing in the FART detector data. So when I first decided to give this talk, I thought of only including the FART detector data. But then we were working with the near detector data and we got some interesting results. So I thought that it would be interesting for the audience to look at those results. So let us talk about the tension between the data. So I will start with giving a brief introduction to neutrino oscillation, but I will try to skip this part as fast as possible because most of the people in the audience are already aware of this. So there are three neutrino flavors, nu e, nu mu, nu tau, and the mass eigenstates are nu1, nu2, nu3, and they mix with each other to produce the flavor state. And the mixing can be expressed by this equation where U is the unitary frequency matrix, also known as CMNS matrix. So U has this form. So the neutrino oscillation probabilities depend on three mixing angles, two independent mass square difference, and the CP violating phase delta CP. So this was the parameter space in 2012 when NOVA and T2K were just starting to take their data. So from this, we can see that the three unknown quantities were the octant of theta 23, delta Cp, and the sign of delta C1. So that's what I have stated in this slide. Depending on sign of delta C1, there can be two possible mass ordering. One is normal hierarchy and another is inverted hierarchy. Similarly, if sin square 2 theta 23 is less than 1, there can be two octants of theta 23, higher octant and lower octant. And T2K and NOVA were expected to determine these unknowns. So how do they determine the unknown? They measure two disappearance probabilities or survival probabilities of muon neutrino and muon antineutrino, which would give precision on magnitude of delta C1 and sin 2 theta 23. And they also measure two appearance probabilities, which give information on CP violation, mass hierarchy, and octant of theta 2. So let me now talk about NOVA and T2K experiment. So NOVA is an experiment in Fermilab, as we all know, and so these are the details about detector and the source. So NOVA started taking it in 2014 and published the latest data in 2020 neutrino conference. Similarly, T2K is an experiment in Japan. These are the details on source and detector, and T2K started taking it in 2009 and published the latest data in 2020. So let me talk about the 2020 data. So these are the appearance data for both neutrino and antineutrino for NOVA and T2K. Of course, they have disappearance data. While analyzing the data, we have considered both appearance and disappearance data, but I haven't shown the disappearance data in the slide. So what did the collaborators find out? NOVA found out that the best fit point was at NH for this delta Cp and this sin square theta 23 value. Similarly, T2K's best fit point was at NH for this delta 7 sin square theta 23 value. For IH also, the delta 7 sin square theta 23 values were same. And so the best fit point of NOVA and T2K are far apart, as can be shown from this comparison plot provided by the NOVA collaboration people. And also there is no overlap at the 1 sigma region. Although there are small overlaps at 68% and 90% confidence level, but they rule out each other's best fit point even at 68% confidence level. So we also analyze the data by ourselves, which is given in this paper. This is our paper on the search for non-unitary mixing in the NOVA and T2K FART detector data. So we found out that our allowed regions are quite close to the ones got by the collaboration. So we were confirmed that our analysis procedures were not wrong. Okay, so now let us look for non-unitary mixing in the FART detector data. So what was the motivation? So we know that the anomalies in LSND, mini-Boone, and reactor neutrino experiment can be explained in the most simplest manner by 3 active neutrino and 1 sterile neutrino, and the oscillation is driven by this mass square difference delta 41 in the range 0.1 to 10 electron volt square. But if the extra neutrinos are isosinglet neutral heavy electrons, then in the minimum extension of standard model, they would not take part in neutrino oscillation. But the admixture of such electrons in the charge current weak interaction will affect the neutrino oscillations, and then the neutrino oscillations will be described by an effective 3 cos 3 non-unitary mixing matrix. So the question we ask is, can NOVA and T2K data exclude non-unitarity? If not, can we reach a better agreement between the two experiments with non-unitary mixing? So this is the non-unitary mixing matrix. We'll only concentrate on these 4 parameters: alpha 00, mod of alpha 10, phi 10, and alpha 11. And these are the 3 sigma boundary values of these parameters. Okay, now let us see what result we got after analyzing the data. So we found out that there is a large overlap at 1 sigma between the two experiments, and also we found out that the experiments lose their octant resolution and hierarchy resolution. The minimum delta chi square at IH for both the experiments are quite small, and the combined analysis has a base fit at IH, and then the base fit points of two experiments are quite close to each other. But for the combined analysis also, the minimum delta chi square at NH is very small. This is the delta chi square value of 1. So this is the sensitivity plot of alpha 00. So we can see that the unitary value of alpha 00, which is 1, as delta chi square greater than 1 for each of the two experiments, and for the combined analysis, it has a delta chi square value more than 4. Similarly, for alpha 11, for alpha 10 also, here the unitary value of mod of alpha 10 is 0. So this is the sensitivity for phi 10. Okay, so what do we infer from it? We infer that the individual experiments prefer non-unitary mixing over unitary mixing at 1 sigma confidence level with the base fit point at NH. But please mind that the IH base fit point has a very small minimum delta chi square value. For combined analysis, the unitary mixing is ruled out at more than 2 sigma confidence level, and the combined analysis prefers IH for both unitary and non-unitary mixing. However, for non-unitary mixing, the minimum delta chi square value for NH is very small, around 1. So the tension between the two experiments is reduced because there is a large overlap at 1 sigma confidence level, and the experiments lose the theta 2-3 octant and hierarchy sensitivity when they are analyzed with non-unitary hypothesis. And we also, in this paper, we also analyzed the 2019 data, and we found out that the preference for non-unitary mixing is stronger with 2020 data. So now the non-unitary mixing in the near detector data. So what is the motivation? So we already found out that NOVA and T2K part detector data rule out unitary mixing at 1 sigma, but this recent result published in March 2021 found out that the short baseline reactor neutrino experiment strongly prefer unitary mixing, and even when they are combined with the long baseline experiment data, then also the preference for unitary mixing is quite strong. So we need further available data to look for non-unitary mixing. So now for non-unitary mixing at 0 distance, when the baseline is 0, we get a non-zero oscillation probability. Remember, for unitary mixing at 0 distance, the oscillation probability is 0, but that is not true for non-unitary mixing. This is known as 0 distance effect. Now, because of this 0 distance effect, the short baseline neutrino oscillation experiment as well as the near detector of the long baseline experiment are good candidates to look for non-unitary mixing. Now, T2K near detector data are not available in public domain, but NOVA near detector data are. So let us talk about the NOVA near detector. So these are the details. So it's a 290 ton TASD, and it is placed at 1 kilometer away from the source at 100 meter underground to reduce the cosmological flux, and at 0.8 degree of axis. Now the near detector, as expected, cannot observe flavor change for unitary mixing, but can do so for non-unitary mixing. And we have already seen that the non-unitary oscillation at zero distance, so at near detector, will be sensitive to alpha 00 and mod of alpha 10. But there is this condition also. So this near detector data, if the mixing is non-unitary, will be sensitive to alpha 11 as well. Now, Nova published their near detector data along with their far detector data in 2020 neutrino conference. So this gives us a unique opportunity to explore non-unitary mixing at both near and far detector of the same experiment. So this is the appearance data at near detector for both neutrino and anti-neutrino. Again, they have the disappearance data, which I have not shown here, but while analyzing the data, we have used both appearance and disappearance data. Now we can see that there is an excess in observed electron and positron event compared to the expected event for the unitary mixing case. So this gives us a strong motivation to explore non-unitary mixing in the near detector data. Okay, so we have analyzed the near detector data. So we have used the software globes to do so. We did the same for the far detector data as well. Now to do so, we changed the probability code of globes to include non-unitary mixing. So these results of near detector, they will be soon available on arXiv by 30th August 2021. So I guess that the audience can see them before the discussion panel scheduled on 31st August. So we can see that we can get a very precise measurement of the non-unitary parameters at the NOVA near detector. And also the interesting point is that the unitary value of alpha 00 and alpha 11, which is 1, has delta chi-square greater than 25. So which means that the unitary values of alpha 00 and alpha 11 are ruled out at more than 5 sigma for both near detector and the combination of ND and FD. Similarly, for mod of alpha 10, here the unitary value is 0, which is ruled out at more than 5 sigma. This is the sensitivity of phi 10. Now, since the zero distance probability does not depend on phi 10, so ND does not have sensitivity on phi 10, but while combined with FD, we can get a sensitivity on phi 10 as well. So as expected, ND data are not sensitive to standard unitary parameters, but after combining with FD data, we get the sensitivity on to standard parameters. And we see that the allowed range of delta CP is quite similar to one we got after analyzing the FD data with unitary hypothesis. However, the Octane resolution capability is lost. Also, IH has a very small minimum delta chi-square less than 1. Okay, I have also shown the probability plot, but I will not talk about them because of the time constraint, because YouTube does not allow me to upload videos more than 15 minutes. So if anyone interested, they can look at it and ask me questions about the probability plot. I have also shown the event number plots at the best fit point for ND and FD for appearance data, and event number plots at ND for disappearance data for both the mixing. So what we found out that the ND data rule out unitary mixing at more than 5 sigma confidence level and also gives a very precise measurement of the non-unitary parameter. And the deviation from unitarity is very, very small, but this is the first strong signature of BSM physics at accelerator neutrino long baseline experiment. So here in this bullet point, I have talked about the standard unitary parameters that we got after combining ND and FD data, but I have already talked about it. So what we suggest is that T2K and the future experiments Dune and T2HK, they should look for non-unitary mixing in their ND data. Thank you. Thanks a lot.